What is up, guys? It's ya boy Rick, never gonna give you up, Cacus here. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button to support the channel, and let me know what you want my next intro name to be. That comment section is out of control. Alright, today we have the guide for upgrading your Solstice Armor set from the purple Majestic Rarity to the other purple Magnificent Rarity. I'm not sure why Bungie doesn't just go green to blue to purple. It would certainly make the thumbnails a lot easier to understand, but I digress. We are going to be showcasing a bunch of tips and tricks to make this upgrade process go by as fast and easily as possible, and so let's get started. Now, it should be noted that although I'm on the Warlock, you will have pretty similar objectives on the Titan and the Hunter. The differences are pretty minute. For example, I have to kill 50 powerful Fallen, and if you're a Hunter, it's Cabal, right? Whereas I might have to get Void Grenade kills, you might have to get Solar, stuff like that. Now, some general armor tips. If you saw my previous video on upgrading it from Renewed to Majestic, you know it's coming, but in case you didn't, remember that you have to actually have an armor piece on in order to progress its objectives. But with that being said, especially with the Majestic set, you may want to switch it out. Not just when you complete a set, make sure that because you're progressing them at a different rate, as soon as you do have a completed armor piece, get it off right away and put your better armor on or exotic armor on. But even if you haven't completed an armor piece, it may be a good idea to swap something for an exotic, especially because we have some abilities focused objectives. If you need grenade kills, it's a heck of a lot easier if you have an exotic on that gives you double grenades, right? So that is going to substantially increase your progress if you're doing that. Just don't forget to switch back after you've done that objective. But with this Majestic set, one of the key factors in completing it fast is doing the right activities. Not only do you have to do a lot of different activities, but often you're given a choice between two. Do you want to do Wraithborn Hunts, or do you want to do the Blind Well? Picking the right one or the right mixture of these activities can absolutely make a difference. And guys, another huge tip: do not stray from these required activities. I am telling you guys, I got every single objective done while doing these required activities. If you find yourself off in the throwaway checkpoint farming one of these, silly orb generation requirements, stop. You're gonna get it done while you're doing these other activities. If you're going off to the side to just do one objective at a time, you are wasting time. So let's start here with one of the required objectives, which is the European Aerial Zone. Specifically, you have to do 3. It says that you have to kill 5 mini-bosses, but that's team-wide, and it's almost impossible not to kill 5 mini-bosses in total before the time runs out, so that is pretty darn easy. However, I would recommend when you are in the EAZ, keep an eye out for the Prismatic Taken. They're going to spawn in almost like a public event, as you can see right here, and when you kill the knight, he's going to drop a special orb. When you pick up this orb, you instantly become buffed by elemental empowerment. So every single day, there's a rotating featured element you can see if you hover over the EAZ playlist, and today's is Void, so if I pick up 30 Void Elemental Orbs, I become Void Elementally Empowered. If it's solar tomorrow, I then have to pick up solar orbs. So becoming elementally empowered a certain number of times is actually one of your armor objectives. So if while you're doing the EAZ, you can, go out of your way and get this guy and keep becoming elementally empowered, you're going to complete that a lot quicker. But there is also an objective to collect a certain amount of elemental orbs specifically in the EAZ. Make sure you're prioritizing that because you can get empowered in other activities, but obviously you can only collect those orbs and get that done while in the EAZ. So you want to get that done while you're doing your 3 required runs. But moving on from there, the next activity you need to do is either the Altars of Sorrow kind of public event on the moon or overrides. So it turns out Altars gives you 5% per wave, and then overrides give you exactly 30%. So the strat here is to do 2 and only 2 waves of Altars of Sorrow, and then do 3 overrides, and that will get this objective done. And of course, when you're in these activities, remember to try to complete additional objectives. So you have an objective to get kills with a certain elemental type of weapon. Mine was Arc, so I was using the Aikilos SMG to complete that in the background. Stuff like the melee kills, which is pretty easy as well because they don't need to be charged. You just have to have the right subclass equipped and then go around smacking enemies. So doing that to Thrall in Altars, you'll get it done pretty darn easily. But moving on from there, the next activity is either Blind Wells in the Dreaming City or Wrathborn Hunts. So, I would actually recommend Wrathborn Hunts. I know Blind Wells can be a great place to grind some of these other objectives, so if you're falling behind on those things, if you want to get some easy grenade kills, you can definitely do that. But with Wrathborn Hunts, you can actually get these done really fast by doing the following strategy. So you want to make sure you're kind of doing them as normal until you have this option here. The prey mod for Xylox within the Dreaming City. This is by far the fastest Wraithborn hunt. So once you put this on, go to the Dreaming City, defeat the ogre, track for a little bit, start the actual hunt, and when you load in, go into your inventory, go to your lure, and unequip the mods as you can see. It will not kick you from the activity, you're still in here, and then when you kill the boss at the end, it will still count as 20% for this objective being complete, but you won't use up any of your mods, you won't use up any of your charges, and importantly, it will give you the Xylox Prey mod back. So you can just do the same fastest one again and again and again by doing this unequip method. So absolutely, I would recommend doing that. However, the next activity is the choice between either Europa public events or Battlegrounds. So, the Europa public events, if you do them heroic, they're going to give around 20%, but the Battlegrounds are going to give 34%. So you can get this done in only 3 Battlegrounds. Yes, technically the Europa public events, if you get good public events, can go by pretty fast, but if you get like the Vex sacrificing one, that can take a while. Additionally, something people have kind of forgotten about Battlegrounds is that they have modifiers. Today, it's actually Grenadier as a modifier. So if you want to get your, get grenade kills with a certain element objective done super fast, do it in Battlegrounds. And likewise, that also applies to if Brawler is an active modifier in Battlegrounds. You can get your melee kills done super fast in there as well. But if you do want to do the public events, just remember to check Europa when you're doing all this other stuff. When you're going in between Wrathborn hunts, check Europa. When you're doing EAZ runs, check Europa. And then if there's a public event almost starting, go there. Don't try to do all 5 public events in a row because you're going to be sitting around waiting if none of them are spawning, right? But moving on from there, the next required activity is the choice between Crucible Glory playlist activities, so comp, Nightfall Strikes, or matches in Trials of Osiris. So actually the fastest one is the Glory playlist activities, because technically you could just wipe, fall off the edge, you could throw, and you just need completions, you don't need wins. However, that is a really bad way to get all of these elemental orbs. So if you're still doing those at the same time, Nightfall Strikes is actually really easy because you can pick the absolute lowest match-made difficulty, the Adept difficulty for Nightfalls, and it's really not much different, it's almost no different at all than a normal strike. So you can go in there and, it's Fallen Saber this week, you can get it done in 7 to 8 minutes per run easily. Not only that, but if you are a Warlock, this is a really easy way to get your powerful Fallen done within this Nightfall. If you have Cabal, Battlegrounds is the ticket for you, and then Hive, Altars of Sorrow, obviously. However, there's actually one more required activity, and that's for the objective to collect an element of orb in playlists. Now, even though Battlegrounds is a playlist, Nightfalls is a playlist, apparently Bungie made all of that stuff not count. If you actually inspect the armor piece, the objective specifically says that by playlist they mean Crucible, Gambit, or Strikes. So definitely load up in a Strike, put on something like a Sunshot for Solar, the Trinity Ghoul for Arc, or the Graviton Lance for Void, and you'll get that done in no time. And so guys, that is it for the video. I hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickKakis. That is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.